This is possibly the cheapest RC car I have ever had. However, if you've seen the previous videos, it's not great. So in this video, we're going to try and diagnose a few of those problems, turn this car around. The only issue is, it's 10 PM and we race tomorrow. So let's get to work.
So what are we going to try and look at tonight? Well, first off is the steering. That is pretty terrible and it makes the car almost undrivable. Likewise with the throttle control, again making the car super hard to drive. And then it comes probably next onto the shocks and well, seeing if we can do anything to these to just give them a little bit of damping. So I think that's going to be our game plan. So trying to diagnose this steering, I think the first thing to do is to try and see if we can find out whether this servo is any good and if the issues lie here or further down the line. Now unfortunately the plug that they gave us on this fits nothing that I certainly have, so there's only really one way to go about this, and that is to take off the base of the servo and pop on a standard size plug so we can hook it up to a half decent receiver and give it a test. The servo removed, you can see the circuit board that we're going to have to work on. We're going to need to desolder these 3 wires here and then pop on this new lead. Okay, so with the new wire soldered on, let's give it a try. Okay, so I have got my servo hooked up to a receiver and battery pack. The moment of truth: has this transmitter and receiver made any difference to the servo? Let's take a look in 3, 2, 1. And wow, that has made a huge difference. I think it's very clear how responsive that now is, and with no dead zone at all. So I think we have cracked it. Okay, so we know that we have got a good servo. However, now we need to try and test the motor, which is going to be a little tricky because I haven't got a separate ESC to test it on. So what I have done is actually removed the ESC and board from a Losi, and I have it right here. I have the servo plugged into that, and we can actually just test that again and see how that is performing on there, and sure enough it is working rather nicely. So now let's test this motor out and get that plugged into here too and see if our throttle has improved as well. Got the motor all plugged into our board. Let's give it a try and see what it's like. Let's see what happens. Well, there you go. I think we do have a little more control than we did. That initial startup though is still a little on the rough side. I am wondering whether it is coming down to that pinion being meshed slightly too tightly. So I think the next step is going to be to try and elongate those motor holes, move the motor away from the spur gear and see if that helps. Okay, so I have just elongated the 2 screw holes and the central motor hole. So hopefully now that will let the motor slide sideways a fraction and just give that pinion and spur a little more freedom. Okay, so with that now all back assembled, you can just see the amount of play I have between the pinion and spur. So fingers crossed that has helped. Okay, so now we are using the Losi circuit board temporarily. We're going to need to make sure that the polarity of our battery is correct. We mentioned it in a previous video that Wltoys have actually got this the opposite way around to normal. So lifting up these 2 tabs and removing the wires, we're going to be able to switch these over, but we are going to need to be super careful that we do not short anything out. Okay, so I have removed my first wire, the positive, from the plug. I have gone to the lengths of actually putting a piece of heat shrink on here to make sure nothing shorts out. I can now remove my second plug, switch it over, and then replace the positive again. As per the Losi, I have direct wired the servo to our circuit board, that way keeping things nice and tidy. I have added in a power lead here for our transponder for our timing system. So that is all looking good now. We should be able to get this cover back on top. I've just had to cut away a small amount of the material here to cover the plugs, but that means that it should go back on the top there and have use of the power on switch as well. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is not a huge issue, but I do want to do it. The body is rather loose on the top here, so my thoughts are is to go the sort of 1/10 route and pop a couple of bits of Velcro down the side and then do away with the body clip. Quick, easy job to do. I just cut a very thin strip of Velcro, pop that down either side of the chassis, and then just 2 small strips on the inside of the body, and it goes on rather nicely. Okay, so now with the electrics hopefully sorted, we can turn our attention to the suspension and just trying to get a little damping going on in those shocks and slow that rebound down a bit. Okay, so I've been playing around with these shocks quite a bit to try and figure out a way to get some damping going on in there. And well, I have come up with a relatively simple solution. What I've done is found myself some small O-rings. These are 4mm outside diameter, 1mm thick, and well, all you have to do is pop them on top of your piston screw like so, and then using a small amount of this is a Kyosho diff grease, a 30,000 weight, which is really nice and sticky. We can just apply some to the shaft and then pop it back in the shock body, and that gives us a real nice friction damped shock. The shock's all done. How does it feel? And what is the difference like? Well, night and day as far as I can tell. It really has completely changed the damping to the car, so it'll be great to see that on the track. And it does kind of make you wonder why they didn't do something similar in the factory. So there you go. I think that will do us for tonight. I think we made some good gains in performance. Let's take this to the track tomorrow and see how it does. Okay, so back from racing, and what is the verdict on the modifications? Well, first comes the steering. Now that is most definitely improved. The car has a lot more control now. However, the turning radius is rather wide, so potentially looking at changing the servo horn for something slightly longer so we can get those wheels to turn a little more, but then also potentially looking at those tires to try and get a little more grip up front. Okay, so then there was the ESC swap we did to try and smoothen out that throttle. Sadly, that didn't work as well as I'd hoped. Starting to wonder whether actually it is potentially the motor that is giving us the issues. The motor has got some very strong magnets in it, and it has got a lot of power, which I keep on saying, I know. However, there's so much motor braking there. It really does make it rather hard to drive this car smoothly. So motor swap, I think, is probably going to be another thing that we need to look at. Next up is the Velcro that we added to the body. Now this one I would definitely recommend. It really does make life easier taking the body on and off, not having to worry about those tiny little body clips. Then comes the shocks. Now I think you can all see that the difference there is really night and day. I don't feel like we have benefited from those fully yet. Hopefully as the performance of this car increases, then we will start to notice those even more.
So there you go, that's it for this one. Join me next time when we carry on trying to transform this budget racer. Now, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. If you've got any comments, feel free to drop them in the comments below and I will try and answer them. But otherwise, have fun wherever you are. I will see you next time.